The summer projects will be taking place. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
I think a lot of us already know where many of those are taking place, and I know Expressway is a major project for you guys this year. But I want to talk, as you look at things, how far in advance, back to last fall, last winter, when do you decide where the construction is going to be?
A lot of times it's a long process, design process, getting funding. A lot of these projects can be worked on for multiple years before we actually see construction, and then once the plans are put together, it's a matter of getting the funding in the right places so we can start working on it.
Okay, so let's take the Expressway project, for example. This year, it's a big project, like I said. When was the decision made that yes, in the summer of 2023 we're going to take on this project? Hard to say.
Yeah, Expressway. I know they've been working on it for a couple of years, but it's tough to say exactly when that decision was made. So,
okay, what are you looking for when you say, you know what, this area is still really good? I know we have some maps here, courtesy of Mabu, to show where the projects are going on. What is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for, the obvious word is potholes? Are you looking to change turning lanes and make traffic flow easier? What are you looking for when you decide on a construction project?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll go out and survey, and like Expressway, for instance, you know, there's a lot of concrete and pavement that's falling apart. So those are pretty easy ones to make a decision that needs to be repaired. But then just, you know, doing our traffic studies and things like that, we can get an idea of how the intersections are operating and a lot of situations where we need to make changes to get more traffic through there. So those are a couple of things that go into making a project. So,
you know, this may be a question better asked of the contractor or the people that are in charge of the project on the ground, but sometimes you'll see a project that's in full swing and then all of a sudden the workers are gone for a few days. Is that because they're needed in other areas, or what's the cause of that?
Yeah, like a lot of our jobs in town, we've actually got the same contractor on multiple projects. So as they complete work, they need to keep it all going. It's kind of a juggling act for them. So they got to keep them all moving, and if they get a certain area built out where they need to do a lane closure or switch the lane closures up, then it's a good time for them to move to another project. So it's very common.
Who lays out all the cones? And I don't mean physically lays them out, but who decides on? Because to me it looks like a big geometry project to set up the cones and say we need to merge the lanes here and things like that. Is that done through city engineering, or does the contractor do that? Where's the brains behind that?
Yeah, every plan set we put together, we have a work zone traffic control section, and we'll lay that out in the plan set, and then typically the prime contractor will have a subcontractor that is specifically hired to do the traffic control, and they're really good. A lot of times, you know, the plans aren't exactly perfect, so there's field conditions that show up, and those guys can help us, you know, fill in the gaps. But it's a combination between the engineering and then the traffic control contractor.
Does your office get a lot of people calling in and complaining and saying? I would imagine you guys have to field your share of calls.
Yeah, it's I mean, construction season, that's the busy season for our phone line too. So
sure.
Yeah, we get a lot of calls, and it's frustrating. You know, it slows you down, and it's just kind of a short-term pain for long-term gain. I mean, once we get through it, the next year it's going to be a lot better.
Absolutely. Okay, what are the timelines on some of these major projects that are going on right now?
Typically, our projects, the substantial completion date will be like mid-October.
Okay.
A lot of these in-town projects will provide like an interim completion date to try and push the contractor to finish a certain area before a big event or a big holiday or something like that. But typically we try to get it done by October 14th. That's about the time snow starts flying, and we need to be out of there. So.
Okay, we're down to under a minute left, Dan, but let me ask you this. You know, I know people are frustrated, and I know that they sometimes forget to budget some extra time to get to certain places because of the construction. But what is it that we as pedestrians, not pedestrians, but motorists can do to make things easier for the people that are trying to get the jobs done?
Yeah, there's two big things, and I would say speed is the number one thing. You know, we set up speed zones, and we need to make sure that people are following that. That causes the most problems for us. And then just staying attentive. Right. I'm a project engineer myself. I'm on site a lot, and it's every day where we see people driving through on their phones. So So if those two things, if they can help us out, we're doing our best to get it done as quickly as possible and keep everybody safe. So
Sounds good. Dan Christensen, thank you so much. Appreciate it for shedding a little light on some of the construction projects that are going on this year. There you go. There's a way that you can download and see where construction is going on. Go to www.nd.gov. That'll give you all the information. Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're taking a break. We've got more coming up on this Memorial Day edition of North Dakota Today right after this.